Hi guys, welcome back to Night Owl Resin. So today I'm going to do a coaster because I'm taking part of Coasting Through the Week Coaster Wednesday, hosted by Marva at Marvelous Artsy, Tammy over at Epoxy Me That, Mary at resinmeup, Laura at Laura's Design Studio, and Tim from the BassResinator. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use this coaster mold here, the diamond coaster mold. You know, I'm sure you've seen it plenty of times. And I'm actually going to turn it into a city scene, like a city park scene. And so I have this city mold right here, like city buildings here with a tree and a little bicycle. But I want to turn it into like a winter, winter, like a frozen city scene, the best that I can. So I have my usual go-to Hey Clear epoxy resin. It's a 1-to-1 resin mixed up, and I have some in cups ready on the side here. And I mixed up about a cup of resin because I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to need for all these pieces, and if I have some left, then I'll just use it in something extra. But I'd rather hopefully have enough than not enough. And also, it's going to not only be a city park scene, but it's also going to be a candle holder. It's going to hold these little I can't think of what they were, tea light candles. So, okay, let's get started. Well, first thing I want to do is I just want to take one of these little brushes that I have, and I want to brush in the tree and the bicycle because those are very tiny. And rather than try to pour two colors in the tree or to the bicycle, I figure I'll just do it this way. And then after these are all cured, I'm going to do something else to help decorate the outside, to help create the scene that I'm looking for, the color scene. As far as, you know, it being a winter city scene. Let me move these out of the way because I'm very good at knocking things over. So I just have this little brush, and I have this little green. It's a metallic green, and it's a nail powder really, but I got it off of Amazon in a set. But I just think it's like a nice muted green to look at the trees. And I'm going to, like I said, add something afterwards to help it look more like, you know, this time of year, rather than it looking like, you know, a full green tree in the middle of winter. You know, probably don't see that too much, not around here anyways. So, okay. So it's not like this is a big thing to color in, so that doesn't take very much green to do that. But I, rather than like pour it in cups and try to do all that for that little bit of space, it's better to just, in my opinion, to do it like that. So I have that. Let's put the cover back on that one. Get that up. Oh, I also have this little park bench that I'm going to be doing as well. So then I have a little bit of brown. Let me use my switching sponge just to help get that off the brush. These also come from Amazon. I'm sure everybody's seen them before, but that's what that is. Just to do the base of the tree. And I'm using, the color is coffee, and it's from that Changtiki, I don't know how you say that, collection. Also, that came from Amazon in a big set, like a set of 72, I think it was, or something. Something like that. Comes with many different colors. And I don't have a lot of browns. I should start to get some, but brown is not a color I use a lot. It's not one of my favorite colors, so I don't have a lot of it, but I noticed like I don't. So it's something that I should try to get some more of, and maybe in some different shades, and step outside of my comfort zone and do something that I'm not really used to. I think that might be a good idea, and that's something I'm trying to do this year. I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone a little more. Part of the reason I started the channel, like something I wanted to do for a while, was start a channel, but I always felt like I couldn't, or I wasn't good enough, or like I don't really know how to like set things up on, like, you know, on the computer and how to do a channel. But you know, I figured out what I needed to so far, and I'm taking steps, you know, day by day to learn more. So that's all I can do, is take a little bit at a time and keep trying. So So I encourage anybody that feels like they want to try something new, get out of their comfort zone, whether it's resin or anything in life, to just take one day at a time and try something a little bit different. Even just take a few minutes at a time to try something different. I try to do it with other things besides resin as well. And then I'm just going to take this, this is a silver, it's also metallic, but I think this one might have come from Temu. So I'll switch the brush to the brush again. Actually, I think I might even have a smaller brush than this. Let me see. Yeah, this one, because I think that is a much smaller space to get into. So I'm just going to turn it around so I can see it better. Hopefully I'm still in the vision of the camera. That's something I'm trying to get used to, is like be in a vision for you to see better. Get used to where the camera can see and the angles of the camera. So I'm trying. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. Suggestions with anything that I could do to make the channel better, to make the videos better, please feel free to drop that in the comments section. I, welcome that. Like, it might be something that I didn't know I needed to do. Like Marva helped me last week and told me I should change the angle of the camera. And because most people watch from TV, that was something that I really appreciated. Just someone taking the time to let me know, this is probably better. This is probably a better way to do things. And that means a lot to me, actually, because I'm trying to figure this all out on my own. So, a lot of people have had people help them with their channel or to get started or to bounce things off of. I don't have that. So unless I know that I'm not doing something the best way it can be done, I can't really make any changes, till someone says something to me that I can then learn from. So thank you, Marva, if you're watching this. Okay, so I did that, and that's a holographic silver. Okay. And then for the buildings, I was gonna just dust them all in, color them that way, but I kind of like the way the colors come out better when I use the mica powders, and I actually pour it. So that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna do these first. So I have these 3 colors that I picked to do the buildings. This was a difficult decision for me to make on what colors I wanted to do the buildings. If I wanted to make a colorful city or how do I want to make it look. I was on the fence about that because I've made similar scenes before, not on YouTube, and I've used a variety of things. I've used neons, and that came out really cool too. But I might do something similar like that in the spring. So okay, I have, this is a silver white from that same set, that Chantiki set, and I don't need much because I really don't need a lot of each of these colors. They're only going to be a couple buildings, only 6 buildings, and they're not that big and it's not that deep. So I don't need a lot of resin in them, and I don't need a lot of color in them. So that one was silver white A60, it's called. Let me open this. Sorry guys, I'm sure I'm off camera for that. I'm just opening the mica powder. Apparently I've never used this color before. Okay, this one is Space Silver. Again, I don't need a lot, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit in the cup. And I'm using that little scoop that I like to use, that I got, in a nail set that was sent to me. And it's actually what they display nails on when you get your nails done at a shop. But I just turn them into little scoops for my mica powders or any little bottles I need to get into. They're just the perfect size scoop, in my opinion. Those bottles, and the bottles are small, even the smaller ones, I can get into them very easy with those. So then the last color I'm going to use is Champagne, out of the same set. So I'll go ahead and put a scoop of that into that one. And I'm going to do these after. Well, yeah, I'm going to do those after we mix these. I don't want to do one thing at a time. So as to not get like overwhelmed or make a mess like I can sometimes do to myself. So, and I like that the Hey Clay resin has a really pretty good long work time, so it's not like I'm rushing because it's warm, and that's why I separated it into 2 cups too, to also help with the time, make the time longer. And I want to make sure I have enough. I'm pretty sure it might even be too much for each build for these buildings, but I want to make sure I have the right amount for the buildings. So, and for the little bench, I'm gonna pour with the little bench. Okay, there's some left of that, but I'll scrape that into the other cup after. And then I have just these mixing sticks, and I'm gonna go ahead and mix these colors. Make sure you mix your mica well. I should have put some alcohol in it when I mixed it, but I forgot, so that's on me. But that's okay, I find that these mix pretty well. I don't really have too much trouble with that, with these. Now with those neon powders, that's a whole nother problem. I hate mixing with neons. Okay. So the champagne looks good. Just like that. Onto the space gray. I like this color actually. It's the first time I've used it, but it's like, it's more, very much more silver, but I like it a lot. Almost looks like metallic silver. Very pretty. So that one. And the last one we're gonna mix up is that white, silver white. Okay. Now we're just gonna pour them into the buildings. No particular like order or like color, you know, which one I'm gonna do which. I'm just gonna pour them. But since I have more of the champagne, just looks like I poured more in that cup, I'll use that for some of the larger ones and like go from there. And I know you don't want to overfill with these because you want them to be able to line up next to each other, nice and flush. So if you have them at different sizes, they're not going to do that very well. Just from experience with this, doing this in the past. As I say that, then I overfill it. Ay, ay, ay. Look at me. What am I gonna use? I'm gonna need something bigger than that. Let's just go ahead and say we're gonna use this one. I literally just said it, and now you can see what not to do, right? But that's okay. We're gonna fix it. Lucky I have this one next to me empty still, so works out good. Of course, and if it's like a slightly over or something, I can just use the nail file and sand it down a little bit. But if you can prevent it being over, that's a good idea. Okay, so I have that. And then I was gonna do the bench with this space silver, or space gray, whatever it is, space gray. And this one can be like one that can fall over easy. Ask me how I know. So I wanna make sure that I carefully fill this. not too much on that either. So I'm just gonna put that over here out the way for now. Okay, I have a little bit of that left. And then I have this one. This is the white. Okay, perfect. Now I still have to pour the tree and the bike, but it doesn't matter what I use since we poured in those already. So there's a little bit in here I can use to pour the bike. Shoot, that's coming out a little faster than I wanted. Let me see. I just had what I was looking for, now I can't find it. Okay, well, just use another one of those. Okay, that's easy enough. There's hardly anything in that, so I'm just gonna push this to the side. And then we have the gray, and we have this, so we can use the gray into the tree. Because it's gonna come out the color that we dusted the mica powder in. So it doesn't really matter what color we use to pour the tree. Make sure it gets down into those small parts. And do the same. I'm trying to just even it out. And I'm gonna just take my dotting tool, just go around and make sure it flows in there. Getting these little grooves all around, make hopefully not have any bubbles in there. I should have sprayed the mold too first. A lot of mistakes I'm making tonight. Okay, so those ones are done. I could just push that over to the side. And then I have some of the champagne left, so I need to pour the candle, tea candle holder, so I might as well just use that to do that. I don't want to waste any resin at all. I'm just gonna let that go down. There we go, bubbles coming up. It's another thing about the Eclair resin, it's been very good with degassing on its own, and like bubble situation, bubbles are good at rising up to the top. Okay, and I will come back and check on it. So again, I'll just push that out the way for now. Then we have this one, so I have this little bit left in the champagne and the silver. I'll put into some extras afterwards. I'm just gonna move on to the next part, which is the coaster part. And for this one, I want to kind of do like a little bit of a two color mix with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour, I don't want a lot of the second color, I want more of so I'm going to do a little bit of silver, and I'm going to do a little bit, well, I'm going to do more of it in the white, the crushed crystal, really, because I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to look like a winter scene. So, you know, the park in the winter, it's not green, it's gray, and, you know, covered, I'm gonna have it like snow covered, so it's gonna be gray and snow tone is what I'm going for. Hopefully it comes out like that and doesn't come out looking like a hot mess, but we're gonna just hope that we get it right. So and just gonna put a little bit of this silver mica in. I don't know why it has that on the top like that, but we'll just go with it. And it's, I can't even tell what this brand is. Finnabair. I got it at Michael's a long time ago, and I never even used it, and I just found it like in my stash. So I figured like, well, might as well put some use to it. It says silver, but it looks like a very light white silverish. So hopefully it's just like the enough gray that I need, not too gray. I'm sure that's enough for that. And pour a little bit more in there. Not too much. And let's mix this. Oh yeah, should have put some alcohol in this. This one I can see more like it just rose up to the top, like a little cloud of it, but it seems like it's mixing up now. It looks white to me though. Doesn't look very silverish at all. Yeah, it's not. No, I don't think I've ever used it, but maybe I have. I got it in like the clearance section at Michael's one time. Well, I guess maybe I can just add in a little bit of the silver. The silver white looks more white there, so I don't want to add more white. I'll just add a tiny bit of the space gray, I guess. Uh-oh. Oh, man. That was a mess. I'm glad I caught that soon enough. Let's put a little bit more in there. Okay. I'm going to have just a tiny bit of the gray. This space gray, because I don't want it to be super gray like it is, the space gray, like it is in there. I just want like a hint of gray. Okay, that should be enough. Let me put my covers on things, because I'm, you know, klutzy today. Making a mess. I hope everyone's been having a good week. And I can't wait to see what everybody else creates this week and coasting through the week. It was really fun to be in it. Last week was my first time, and I enjoyed participating in it. So this week's going to be great to see what everyone else comes up with. So make sure you please, after you watch the video, follow along and watch other creators that are in the collaboration. There'll be a playlist listed in my description of this video. There'll be a playlist to all of the channels that are participating in this in the Coasting Through the Week Coaster Wednesday. So there's that one. And then I'm just going to add the crushed crystal to the big cup, since I'm going to use what's left. And I want it to look more like, you know, the snow and like the frosted wintry look. And I find this does a good job with that, so it's probably enough. Because yeah, crushed crystal always can get away from you real easily, but that's okay because I'm looking for this type of a look. So in this case, it's good. But I know in other projects, it can easily get away from you and like overtake whatever you're doing. So especially if I'm trying to do just a small coat on a tray or something, just a little too much crushed crystal can like really mess up your top coating of something. So careful how much of it you use. And then I'm gonna spray this one because I remember this time, just to help with any surface bubbles. Especially since the top will be the bottom will be top when we do this, right? So, and with this one, I think I'm just going to simply just kind of let them go together to get that mix, because I want it to be like everywhere, right? Not to be like clumps of it in certain places. I want it to be like mixed well. Whoa, that like filled very quickly. And it's all the way up to the top. So that was good. Like that's like perfectly up to the top. Yep. Actually, might even be a little bit too much. No, I think it's good. It's all right. But I'm probably gonna just take a little stick and stir a little bit around in it, so that like some of this gray can get towards the middle, like work its way evenly in there. I hope you guys get like the effect I'm going for. with this one. Okay, so that's done. And I'm just gonna move all this stuff out the way, and I will let you guys go, and I'll bring you back when it's cured. I'll go ahead and use the rest of the resin and some extras for now, and I will see you when this is done. Hi guys, welcome back. So everything is cured, so we're gonna go ahead and demold. This time I remembered to not demold before I brought you guys back. So let's go ahead and demold the coaster. Okay, it's good. That's like the look I was going for, the grayish but snowy kind of ground, cold winter ground look. So I'm okay with that. This is the tea candle holder. That's good. Happy with that as well. This is the little bench. Again, it came out good. Happy with that. Okay, let's move on to our city. Perfect. Coming out good. What do you guys think? So far, so good. Okay, one more building. Okay. Then we have the bicycle. Oh, came out cute. And then we have our tree. Good. I'm happy with all of that. And then I told you I was going to do some extras yesterday, so I just wanted to show you what I did with the leftover resin. I just made these roses to put aside for in case I need them later in another project. So I just wanted to show you what I did with the leftover resin. Nothing special, but you know, stuff to put away in case I need them at another time. Okay, and now we're gonna go ahead and put this together. But before I start attaching them to the coaster, I wanted to make them look a little more winter-like. Like I was saying, I wanted it to be like a winterish city scene type of a deal. So what I'm gonna try to do is add like a little bit of snow or frost look to the top of the city pieces and the front of the city pieces. So I just have a little bit of the Elmer's clear glue right here. Oh, is this leaking? I don't know if it's leaking or I spilt it. But anyways, let me get that up. And then I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on here. And I have, over here I have the diamond dust. And then I have some of this Timu opal white glitter, it's chunky glitter. And then I have a, just an Amazon white fine glitter that came in a set that I had bought. So I also wanna add some onto the tree, because the trees don't look like all green and flush and full this time of year. Not where I am. So add it to the top. And then let me just grab this thing. This thing doesn't look so pretty, but it works good. It's actually like a glitter tray. So I will add some of these into here so that when I add the glitter or the diamond dust into it, I don't get it all over the table. Don't make a big mess. Okay. Now the sides of the building are going to be touching each other, so I don't really want to do too much on the sides. I haven't decided like which end will be the end, so maybe on either end I'll add some, but I have to figure that out. And I'm not there yet, so let's go this way, right? So towards the top. Right? Goes like this. I think it goes like this. So, as you can see, I'm just doing this and then adding them to the top. And then what I will do is just take a little bit of the diamond dust. And I'm going to pour that into like a little cup. And then I'm going to add some of that opal glitter. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the fine glitter. Okay, I'm going to stir that up. And then we're going to add it on to our pieces. And I mean, you can do as much or as little as you'd like to add on, or none if you don't want to, or you could make it a spring or sunny piece. You know, you could do it however you choose to. This is just how I wanted to try to make this look for this particular coaster. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add this onto the rest, and then I'm going to let it dry. Then when it dries, I'll bring you back so we can do the next part together. Okay guys, we're back. So not only did they dry, I started to put these around here like I was doing. But what I did was I left one out so I can show you how I glue them on. I started to do that because we have to let the glue dry again. And rather than let it dry, bring it back, let it dry, bring it back, I figured I would just go ahead and start to do that and then show you what I did. And then we could continue from there. So it's a little bit self-explanatory. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the side because I'm putting it next to this one. And I'm just using a little bit of Gorilla Glue. You can use whatever glue you would like. And then a little bit of glue here in the front where it's going to go against the coaster. Okay. And then that's it. That's all I do. So I glue that like that, push it together, and then boom, that part is done. So then I just have this little bit of inner part that we're going to do. And I'm going to put the tree right there in the center. And what I did was go ahead and just added a little drop and put the bicycle in front of it. So that way it would look like it's leaning against a tree or locked against a tree. So we'll go ahead and add that. And again, I'm just putting a little bit of dollop of glue on the bottom. Then I have I made one bench, as you guys saw me make this bench, but then I also have one more bench that I found in like my stash of old stuff from this. So I was going to add one more bench to either side of this, just kind of fill it in a little bit more, and then I'm going to put the candle thing in the front like that. So let me go ahead and add some more glue, and add some glue on here to the bottom, right on the bottom of the bench. We're just going to add the glue to right there, to wherever you would like it. I should have actually probably put this down front first so I can judge a little better. So let's go ahead and put this down in the middle. Just put a dollop of the glue, and then put this down. Okay, and then we'll put the dollop of the glue again on the bottom of the bench. And we'll put this down right here. Oh, I'm knocking off a little bit of my snow. Okay. On the bench right there. So what do you guys think? It's like my little city scene in the winter. So that's my project for Coasting Through the Week, Coaster Wednesday. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Tell me if you like it. What would you have done? What else would you add? What colors would you have chosen? And I have like these little tea lights, you know, that battery operated. So I would just put like a little battery operated tea light in it. Oh, because of the snow I had on the side, so I had to push it a little bit. There you go. That's how that would look. I don't know, that's still gotta dry. But I don't want to have to like, you know, bring you guys back again just when that's glued on, so you guys can see what that looks like. So I will take a picture at the end and show you this final look. I hope you guys liked it. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get notified when I post my next video. I do have another video coming up really soon. So I hope you will subscribe, become a part of the Night Owl family, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.